everyone. It is Tuesday, October 9th. This is WGTV Today. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for being here. And what a gorgeous day it is. Cooled off a little.
It's nice.
Over
I
the
enjoy
weekend
it when
and
it cools
yesterday.
off.
I know, I
It's like
too.
fall again. It had
does.
gotten warm. It started to feel like it was reverting back to summer.
That's right. The state fair is getting ready, or if it hasn't already kicked off, it's getting ready to.
It is.
A lot of people excited about that. We're excited about today's program. We've got some great program for you today. LETISHA and Meg will be with us today.
Oh, they did a great job on their interviews. Very informative.
Yeah. You're going to enjoy that.
Remember Letisha's
Kevin Johnson
last
of the
name.
Cooperative Extension Service
Yeah,
is going to be with us. DAVIN MADDEN of the Wayne County Health Department will have a moment with us, and my buddy, the Honorable Judge Arnold Jones is going to be with us for the first of a two-part series, and looking forward to that a little later on this morning here in the first hour, or in the hour of the WGTV Today.
That's right. We're just a one-hour show, Wayne.
I know. Well,
just a one-hour show.
just a one-hour show. It is indeed October 9th, and I thank you for being with us. Hope you had a great day yesterday. It's the beginning of the week, and it's only going to get better. Here we are. There's a lot of things going on around the Wayne County area.
It is. It's a busy month. We talk about it every week, how much busier every day seems to get.
Yes, indeed. You know, tomorrow we will have, or rather tonight, we have Celebrate the Art of Survival. That's tonight at Wayne Memorial Hospital. And if you'd like information about that, you can call, excuse me, 731-6299, 731-6299. You can learn about it, but all you have to really do is just go. It starts at 5:30 this evening, and it is featuring artwork and jewelry created by area cancer survivors. There's music provided by harp and violin by members of the North Carolina Symphony.
That'd be nice.
Yes, dance lessons from the Top Hat Ballroom instructors. Also, just a whole lot of things, including you could schedule a mammogram and sample healthful food options as well. Anyway, chocolate fountains. Chocolate.
And all this is taking place in the dining room?
Yes, it's all in the dining room at
Wayne
Wayne Memorial Hospital. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, but anyways, there's going to be a lot of physicians, doctors there, experts. Dr. Jim Atkins, Iwen Chang is going to be there, of course. Dr. Kasvari, Jason Boyd, Dr. Boyd. Also, Ben Eskra, Dr. Eskra will be there. Also, Randy Schwackhammer will be there as well as Dr. Carbuncle. Dr. Catherine Carbuncle will be there. Brooke Norris, PA, will be there as well. Anyway, that's all going on tonight at 5:30.
So you can buy yourself a piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
Dance a few lessons.
There you go.
Eat some chocolate.
Oh, boy. And talk to a doctor.
And talk to a doctor.
And schedule a mammogram.
There you go. All in one evening.
What else is there to do? What a great evening, yeah. Then you're set for that's about a month's worth of activity there.
It really is, isn't it? I know. Well, you know, the Parks and Recreation had their hay maze that started last Friday night.
You know, I didn't get over there, but I saw them building it the other day.
It's huge, isn't it?
It is. It's enormous.
Well, they thought it was going to be the largest one in eastern North Carolina.
Yeah.
Well, come to find out, it's the largest one in North Carolina. In the whole
Are
state.
you serious?
It really is.
Wow.
And I was talking with Scott Barnard, Parks and Rec's director, about it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure how they were going to play all that out, how they would design actually the entire hay maze.
Yeah.
And what I found out was they have a map that is sent down from the North Carolina Parks and Recs.
Right.
And they follow the map in the design, so they know exactly how to set the hay maze up from start to finish.
Really?
How many bales of hay they'll need. Oh, yeah, it's very strategic.
Wow.
It's not just let's get out there and figure it out. It's a very strategically planned hay maze.
I wonder if somebody goes in there with a GPS system, if they'll be able to figure it all out.
No, that I don't know. Why don't you try that?
Well,
Wayne?
I don't know.
Check
if
your phone.
Well,
Does your phone have a GPS? Most of them do these days.
Yeah, I think it does, as a matter of fact, but I don't know how to work it. So, you know, it's all numbers and things like that. So what do I know?
Oh,
all right.
goodness.
Well, I tell you what. Let's go ahead and get started with our first interview. The Honorable Arnold Jones is with us this morning. We'll be talking to Judge Jones up next on WGTV Today. With us in the studio this morning is the Honorable Senior Resident Superior Court Judge Arnold Jones. Good morning.
Good morning, Wayne.
Judge, thank you for being with us. I appreciate it.
I'm glad to be here.
Always great to see you.
Always good to be around Yankee fans.
There you go. There you go.
Just hope that
things are working out.
All right, well, let's get real serious about this. How do you think the Yankees are going to do?
Well, it depends when, what day of the week or what inning you might ask me.
What inning you might be.
Yeah.
All right. Now, getting down to business here. I appreciate you being in. Could you tell us what it means to be a senior resident court judge, and does that differ? How does it differ from other judges?
All right. Well, every district in North Carolina, Wayne County is a one-county district, okay?
Right.
And people think that I live, work, breathe here in Wayne County all the time. Not true. We travel all across the state. But my responsibilities at home are administratively sort of unique. I get to appoint magistrates. That's coming up in December. Every 2 years that comes around. I'm responsible for making sure that our bond policy is up to date. I'm responsible for making sure our civil case docket is managed and handled a certain way and that cases are moving efficiently. I'm not in charge of the criminal court calendar. That's the district attorney's job.
Okay.
But certainly I monitor how our criminal court cases are progressing. Right. You know, it's not some kind of job that sort of takes care of itself. It's something that takes attention, and even when I'm traveling across the state, I have to get back home, and once a month I'm home every month, and that's what I'm doing this week actually. I'm in administrative court this week.
So you're actually doing a lot of traveling in your position.
I've gone as far west as Sanford, which is actually, if you look at the map and threw a dot right in the middle of the state, I think it would land somewhere near Sanford.
It's very close, yeah.
And I go to Wilmington and Jacksonville and Brunswick County. So gone down south and east pretty far, and points in between. It's interesting to go different places. You get to see how different counties work and different staffs work. Here in Wayne County, we've got what I think is the best staff. I got a crackerjack set of bailiffs, clerks. We've got a great set of lawyers that I get to work with, so it's fun to be home.
Oh, yeah. How does the Superior Court differ from District Court? What is the biggest difference there?
Well, District Court has a lot of volume, and what I mean volume, it would not be uncommon for here in Wayne County on a given day there might be 300, 400 cases on a calendar.
Whoa.
And those cases are dealt with fairly quickly, and people are pushed through. In Superior Court, we're a court of record, which means everything said by anyone in there has to be recorded. It's a slower, more deliberate process, and we don't handle the volume of cases that District Court does. Also, we handle different types of cases. District Court has original jurisdiction over misdemeanors, and we have original jurisdiction over felonies. So there's some differences in what we do. District Court's no less important. So we're all working towards the same goal, and some people try their case in District Court and they don't like the decision. They appeal it to Superior Court in the criminal context. So sometimes we do similar type work, but it is different, and it's you know, important to make sure people's rights are protected and that everybody gets their fair day in court, and that's one of the challenges that we have every day up here.
I know your late father was a Superior Court judge, and well respected, well loved here in the Wayne County area.
Only Superior Court judge we ever had in North Carolina who wasn't a lawyer.
Is that right?
Yeah,
he was not an attorney.
He was not a lawyer. And we had a few growing up. My daddy was elected when I was 8 years old, and there were a few, even in our own district then, who were not lawyers. Really? And as time went on, they dwindled down, and he decided to run for Superior Court in 1998, and he was the only non-lawyer we ever had in Superior Court that I'm aware of. And I think that was something that I read. So
that's pretty amazing.
He was amazing.
He was amazing, and one of the finest judges ever.
I think he was the best.
Here.
My mother did too, and so did my brother.
Well, we're a
little biased.
A little biased, yeah. You think?
I think.
What differences do you see in today's courtroom as compared to your father's courtroom?
I think there's a lot more technical arguments, and I think it's a product of our society. We're a much more technical society. You know, you can't go anywhere now where people aren't pulling out a smartphone The world's at their fingertips right there in a telephone, and or an iPad, or some type of touch machine like that. And I think that has carried over to our court system. People are technologically savvy, looking up and finding out information much quicker than probably 20 or 25 years ago, just because of the, the abilities that we have now that we didn't have then. And so I think people come to court, whether they're more knowledgeable or not, they think they're more knowledgeable because of the electronic age that we're in.
Well, they can look it up on the internet.
And the internet's always right, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
And of course, we're being facetious. Not always.
Of course we are. No,
but sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes not.
Yeah.
But I think that's one area, and people therefore come in with a different perspective because of the knowledge base that we have. Also, there are more people. And when we have more people, what are we going to have? More problems.
More problems.
Because we're human. And the more human we are, the more mistakes are going to be made, and that means more people are coming to court. So there's an increase in volume at all levels of court cases, and I'm very proud of our system here in North Carolina. I keep a monthly look. There were performance reports put out every month, and we see how we're doing, not only in our county, but relative to the state as a whole. And Wayne County is doing quite well. I'm very proud of what we're doing here.
You mentioned how technology has played a role in people coming into your courtroom now. I believe it was Twain who said something about being your own attorney, attorney
Something
who
about being a
represents
fool.
himself
Right.
has a fool for a client.
Right.
How much of that do you see nowadays? Do you see that at all?
Not very often. Most people realize, hey, if this is serious, this is serious.
Yeah.
I probably need a lawyer.
Yeah.
If they're able to hire their own, they do. If they're not, they apply for a court-appointed lawyer. Judges then have to decide whether they're qualified in terms of receiving.
So the judge can make the decision.
We have to look at their financial standing, and of course it's constitutional. If you are facing a serious crime and you are not able to pay for a lawyer, then we are required to appoint lawyers. Mm-hmm. And we have probably about 20, 25 lawyers on our court-appointed list here in Wayne County now.
My goodness. All right. Well, this is the first of a series. We're going to have this is a two-parter. So we're going to be talking to Judge Arnold Jones, the Honorable Judge Arnold Jones, here again in just a little while. And Judge, I appreciate you being in the studio with us today.
Great to be here, Wayne.
All right, go Yankees.
Yeah, and Tar Heels, right?
And Tar Heels.
There you go.
Thank you. I'm Wayne Alley for WGTV. We're back on WGTV today. Thanks for being with us. It is a Tuesday, October 9th. I heard you say that toward the end of this month we have two events, big events, happening on the same day.
We really do.
What's that all about?
On October the 27th, we have both the chili cook-off, which is a chili cook-off where people can come within the community, and if you think you have your best chili recipe and you want to compete in a fun event, you can participate in the Community Soup Kitchen's chili cook-off, October the 27th.
Oh boy.
And then the exact same day is Jazz on George.
Oh,
exact same
really?
day. And Jazz on George is from 1 till 7.
So that goes about 6 hours.
That's a long event.
Yeah, and the chili cook-off starts when?
I don't remember.
October 27th.
It's October 27th, and I know it's in the morning, but I'm not sure exactly what time they start, but we can get back with them on tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow.
We will. They're supposed to be sending me the details.
Oh, okay.
But I do know they're both the same day, so mark your calendars.
All right.
And chili cook-off, Jazz on George, October 27th, and Jazz on George, has live jazz music.
Oh, yeah,
all day.
Cool.
They say bring your blanket, bring your lawn chair. They're going to have music. They're going to have arts and crafts for children. They'll have free food and beverages and all kinds of goodies going on.
Goodies.
Yeah.
Goodies. Oh, boy.
So there are two pretty nice events going on in one day here in Goldsboro.
That's really, really nice. Two big events there. So you could go to one and then
absolutely, yeah,
and then go to the other,
anyway.
And then go back to the other, and just it's a big day. What day is that anyway? Is that a Saturday?
I don't know if it's Saturday or Sunday. We're just not informed today, are we? I just know it's October 27th.
Okay, whatever day that is, that's the day. Okay, we'll figure that out. Okay.
That's what we say. Mark your calendars.
Okay, today's the 9th and it's Tuesday, so do the math.
Yeah, do the math, Wayne.
I'll get back with you on that.
Do the math.
Okay.
We also have At the Paramount Theater, the East Carolina Symphony Orchestra is going to be coming. It's their 3rd annual concert they've done here at our Paramount Theater.
Oh, boy.
And that's Saturday, October the 21st.
And we know what day that is.
Yes, we do.
What day is that?
That is a Saturday, October 21st.
Well,
And,
that means that the
okay, yes, the other one's the
27th is on a Saturday as well,
Okay, there you go.
right?
He did the math.
Okay,
While
go
he's
ahead.
figuring it up, let me tell you. Okay, so
Okay.
tickets are $15 for the East Carolina Symphony Orchestra. You can get them at www.goldsboroparamount.com, or you can actually go in the Paramount Theater and purchase them right there at the box office. But that is October the 21st, $15. Get your tickets now for the East Carolina Symphony Orchestra.
I have no idea.
You can't figure it out? You can't do the math?
Well, it looks like a Friday, but
We'll get back with you.
get
on
back
that.
with
Or
you on
you
that.
do the math.
all right, in fact, in just a few minutes, we'll let you know, okay?
That sounds good. What else is going on?
I don't know.
You know,
I thought you did. Let's take a look at, okay, it's October 9th. Today is National Submarine Grinder, Hoagie, and Hero Day. I love submarine sandwiches.
Are they all different things we're talking
Well,
about?
yeah, they're all the same thing, but they're all called different things depending on what part of the country you live in. Some people call them hero sandwiches,
Yes.
some call them hoagies, some call them submarines, and some grinders. But today is also Moldy Cheese Day.
Now, who would want to celebrate that?
I don't know, but it is.
I love cheese.
I do too.
I can't say much for moldy cheese.
It's also National Face Your Fears Day. This day, 1917, a guy by the name of Clarence Saunders patented the self-service grocery store. Up until 1917, everybody just kind of walked into the store at the counter and they ordered their goods, like you see on Little House and on Bonanza and places like that, TV. You'd walk into the store and you'd say, I want a can of beans. So then you pay for them and leave. But
They got everything behind the counter.
Clarence decided, he said, you know, you can wait on yourself. So he patented that. In fact, he opened a store. They went by the name of Piggly Wiggly.
Well, how about that?
Yes. Piggly Wiggly. You know, the pig, actually, here's a little trivia for you. The pig has a name,
What's his name?
Quigley.
Really?
I'm serious.
Where'd that
Quigley.
come from?
The pig, I don't know. I don't know where I heard that somewhere, but it came from good authority. Quigley, the Piggly Wiggly pig.
Can you imagine
I cannot.
saying that?
All
You know,
right.
October is Fire Prevention Month, the
It
entire
is.
month.
It is.
So we want to really be careful and do some of the things that our fire chief has talked to us about. You know, check your smoke detectors, make sure
Right.
the batteries are working.
Right.
Have yourself an evacuation plan just in case that everybody in your family knows what to do.
Right.
We've got several things coming up this month where we'll have different fire prevention bits of information on our shows. We really want to pay attention to that. I know
Yes.
a lot of the firemen will be going in the schools this month and celebrating and talking to the children about things to do at home.
Right.
So mom and dad, grandma and granddaddy, if they come home with information, make sure you take it into consideration. Check your fire alarms, check everything you've got to make sure it's working.
And we go back to standard time the first week of November, I believe the first Sunday in November. So that will be the time, the weekend that you'll want to change your
Change your
batteries,
batteries,
and your smoke detectors.
That's right.
All right. What else do we have?
Well, we do want to remind you, if you're a nonprofit organization and you have an event coming up anytime in the next few months that you would like for us to promote here on WGTV, if you'll email it to us at wgtv@waynegov.com 2 weeks before your event, Wayne and I will be glad to talk about it on air and help you promote what's going on in our community. That's what we're here for, is to spread the news and make sure you're aware of everything that's going on. And our community has lots and lots going on. We want to make sure you're aware of it, and you can pick and choose what you want to be a part of.
That's exactly right. And
We do have more than you can really imagine going on all the time.
We do, and there's a lot of it going on. And I've had people tell me, you know, they're glad we're here because we tell people what's going on, and they say, you know,
I had
don't
no
know what's
idea. I hear that a lot
I don't know
too.
what's going on, but they hear it from us. And I have one thing to say about that.
What's that?
May the bluebird of happiness fly up your nose.
Okay.
Now that's because that was you ever heard of Little Jimmy Dickens?
Yes.
All right. Well, that was his big hit back in 1965. I'm not kidding. 1965, Little Jimmy Dickens released the song "May the Bluebird of Happiness of Paradise." Pardon me, Bluebird of Paradise, fly up your nose, and it went to #1 for him. Big hit for Little Jimmy Dickens.
That was really a song.
And it went to #1.
That's a little surprising.
Yeah. Okay, also, the electric blanket was created and invented and sold on this very day. It was sold, the very first one was sold this day in 1946. And
Well, we
that's
like
a good
electric
thing.
blankets.
Love electric
As long
blankets.
as we check them and make sure they're working properly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course, they don't have smoke detectors on them, but they should.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay. Jackson Brown, the singer, having a birthday today. He is 64. Scott Bakula, the actor, 58 today. And actress and talk show host Sharon Osbourne
Oh, I like her.
is 60 today.
Is she really? That's all she is, a 60?
Yeah. Yeah, that's all she
No, I
is.
just meant because for some reason I think her husband is older than that. And he may
Oh,
be.
he is. He's
He
older
may
than
be.
dirt. Yeah.
She is a hoot.
A hoot is a word. Yeah, that's one word. Yeah. Anyway, that's Sharon Osbourne turning 60 today. What do you have?
Well, you know, we want to remind everybody that Crime Stoppers, we've had the interview on recently with Paige Leonard.
Yep.
Leonard.
Leonard.
Let's get that right. Paige Leonard. She was on recently talking about what Crime Stoppers is, and we just want to remind you because I think a lot of us have been misinformed, or we're just not exactly sure what Crime Stoppers is and how it works. That Crime Stoppers is a nonprofit. It is a separate organization. It is not funded by or a part of either the Sheriff's Department or the Police Department, even though they work and they partner with one another.
That's right.
It is a separate nonprofit organization that has its own board, made up of community members right here in our county, and they work to help the Goldsboro Police Department and the Sheriff's Department get tips from the community where you can call in or text in anonymously. Every time you call this particular number, when you see the Crime Stoppers number, the same person answers every time. Your call is blocked. No one can see your number. No one knows who you are. You can text as well if you don't want them to hear your voice, and to give tips to actually help the police department, sheriff department solve crimes within our community. And our community that's who can help us.
That's exactly
You're the
right.
ones that have a lot of the information. You're our eyes and ears. You know what's going on out there. So just wanted to make sure you understand they're funded totally through donations through our community. They have a couple fundraisers throughout the year. So Crime Stoppers is here to help us help you. So
Wonderful organization.
and it's been around 30 years in our
That's
county.
right. And you are totally anonymous when you turn in a tip, and you get paid for it.
You do. If
to.
the tip that you give the Crime Stoppers leads to a felony arrest, you can get paid up to $1,000.
Up to $1,000. That's right.
From $250 to $1,000.
Oh yeah. All right. Let's see what we have up next. Up next, we're going to be talking to DAVIN MADDEN of the Wayne County Health Department, also to LETISHA and Meg. They'll be in the studio with us here in just a moment on WGTV Today. We're talking with DAVIN MADDEN, Wayne County Health Director today. And DAVIN, thanks for being with us. Hope you're well.
I'm doing great, Wayne.
Very good.
Always good to be here.
I want to talk about, thank you, I want to talk about the flu and flu shots. Now, a lot of people have a lot of different ideas and positions on the flu and getting flu shots. But now the flu is actually rather dangerous, and it can be deadly, can it not?
Absolutely.
Who is most at risk for the extreme of the flu?
Well, the flu can have complications with anybody that gets the flu, but primarily with the elderly, children, and anybody that has an immune-compromised system, or they could be suffering from some other type of illness, and the flu could just complicate it. Around 49,000 people die each year from flu-related complications.
Really? Now that's a rather high number. 49,000 people.
It's really high when you consider the fact that we have a vaccine.
You know, that's right.
So we have a way to prevent it.
Now, is there a way to determine if these 49 people, is there a percentage, 49,000 people, is there a percentage of those who actually receive the flu shot, yet still?
Yeah, I don't know if they actually received the flu shot or not.
Yeah.
But a lot of times if you have a flu shot, then you still could get the flu, but usually the severity of the flu will be lessened significantly. Yeah. And you know, in to dispose of a myth about I got a flu shot and I got sick with the flu, that's a myth.
That's a myth.
The thing that a lot of people probably don't know is that when you get a flu vaccine, it takes about 2 weeks for your body to produce the antibodies you need to prevent, to protect you from flu virus. And a lot of times people get exposed to flu sometime in that 2 weeks, or maybe right prior to getting their flu shot, and then that makes them think, well, I should go get a flu shot, but they may have already been exposed, and then they do get sick right after they get the flu shot.
Once they're exposed to the flu bug, how long does it take before you start feeling effects of it?
Oh, you can feel the effects of it within, you know, anywhere from 2 to 3 days, usually.
Right.
It doesn't take very long, depending on just how virulent, because there's many different flu strains, and so it depends on what you're exposed to.
And that's kind of just a guess, isn't it, as to which strain will be the problem in the coming season?
Yeah, the CDC usually looks at surveillance over the course of the previous year and what they've detected in their surveillance across the nation or even worldwide, and they use that to help formulate what type of flu concoction that they're going to put out each year. And they try to pick the strains that have been most recognized, most virulent, and the ones that they think will be the ones that people will be most exposed to.
Yeah, you know, I recall, what was it, a couple of 3 years ago, one of the vaccines was found to be non-effective at a plant in the UK, and the CDC decided to cut off that supply, and when that happened, we all ended up short of the vaccine. Do we see anything like that, or have we taken measures to not let that happen again?
Well, there's been more flu manufacturing companies that they had went off the market. Some had went off the market during the times when people weren't getting flu vaccines as much, and then of course when H1N1 came around in 2009, there was a shortage at that point in time too, because the current flu vaccine didn't have the protection of H1N1, and there had been less flu manufacturers. But then they had started ramping that up over the previous years. So we have plenty of flu vaccine now. Okay,
that's good news. Let me ask your opinion about something now. Here, you mentioned the H1N1, the bird flu, avian flu, the swine flu, and all that. There was a great scare here a year or two ago, or back even further, that one of the flu strains was deadly, was just horrible, was awful, and it was predicted that there would be thousands of deaths. And you mentioned, of course, 49,000 every year anyway, but there was going to be even more than that, considerably more, exponentially more. Do these things get blown out of proportion? Does the media get a hold of it and just run with it, a story like that?
Yes and yes.
Okay.
But there's also good reason for the concern, because a lot of times when you have a new strain or a strain that hasn't been found normally in those previous years, you don't know how it's going to react with people that may have not been exposed. That was one reason why they said that people over the age of like 55 or so would be at the less risk with H1N1, because at some point in the earlier years they had probably been exposed to something similar and they had a resistance to it.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be as strong a virus in their system as it would have been in younger people, which were the high risk populations when H1N1 first came out. But it does get blown out of proportion a lot of times, but at the same time you also have to be cautious. And you hear me say that all the time when I talk about public health. It's about awareness and caution, using common sense, because you don't know if a virus may mutate and then the symptoms could be more severe. It can change on you. So that's why we're always doing surveillance and watching and seeing what's happening.
What's our record like here in Wayne County? Are we able to convey the importance of getting a flu shot to the masses here, to the population?
I hope so. I can't say that with the utmost of confidence, still being relatively new, but I mean we do get it in the paper, and we do put it on our signs. At the health department, I know the other flu shot providers like drugstores and doctors' offices, they advertise themselves. So I think we get it out, and North Carolina does have a higher immunization rate than a lot of other states when it comes to flu vaccines. So we do have something worth mentioning there.
I've talked to people, particularly younger people, who said, "Oh, I don't need a flu shot. I've never had a flu shot and I'm healthy." Now, what's wrong with that statement?
Well, the problem with that statement is if you interact with other people, that's why you want to be vaccinated too. You want to protect yourself, but you also want to protect the other people you're around. You may be young and healthy, but you may get around a younger brother or sibling, a younger sister, or you may be around your grandparents, and if you come into contact with the flu virus, it may not have the impact on you, but you could spread it to somebody that it could have an impact on. So part of vaccination is to try to break the chain of transmission.
So you could actually have the flu virus and be healthy, be walking around with it, and actually give it to someone.
Well, you would probably know if you got it.
Oh, okay.
Normally, but what I'm saying is you may have less severe symptoms. You may it may not hit you as hard as it could hit somebody else. You may be sick for a few days, thinking you just had a real bad cold.
Just a cold or an allergy or something.
You know, you'll feel bad, but you need to basically stay at home until at least 24 hours after you don't show any sign of a fever. Because if you have a fever or up to 24 hours after you've had a fever from something like that, you're still contagious, and you're walking around coughing, sneezing, wiping your nose and touching doorknobs, spoon handles, touching people's hands. You know, you could transmit the virus to people that they may not be as healthy and as young or as strong as the person you're talking about.
So just because the fever breaks, you're still contagious?
They set the CDC guidelines is up to 24 hours. You want to try to basically limit your exposure to other people and other places, because you can still shed the virus and be contagious.
Okay. I'll make a note of that. That's good to know. Now, most at risk, again?
Elderly, anyone around young people, because, you know, from 0 to 6 months, they don't recommend any flu shots. It's from 6 months older. So if you're around young children, or if you're around anyone that may have you know, other illnesses or chronic disease or some kind of immune compromised system.
Is there anyone?
This could be things like people may be on chemotherapy.
Okay, so there
I mean,
are
it could
people.
be anybody who their system has been compromised
Right.
from, you know, if they've had chemotherapy, if they've been exposed to certain things, and they could be more susceptible to a flu.
Is there anyone who should not receive, besides 6 months and younger, anyone who should not receive a flu shot for any reason?
Not really. I mean,
Everyone should have one.
well, everyone should be vaccinated against the flu, I think. The bottom line is whether you're healthy enough to withstand the flu, you may be that break in that chain of transmission from one person to the other.
All right. DAVIN Madden, Wayne County Health Director. We're talking about the flu and the flu shots. Strongly encouraging you to get one this year. I'm Wayne Alley for WGTV.
Hi, good morning and welcome to WGTV Today. I'm Kim Best, your host, dedicated to informing you on what's happening in our city. This morning I have with me Meg GERNAAT from the Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation and LETISHA Banks from the Arts Council of Wayne County. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
We are here today to talk about events that are happening downtown Goldsboro, and I think the first on our list is Jazz on George, right, ladies?
Yes.
All right, that's a great family-friendly event. It's coming up this month. Tell us more about it, Meg.
Yeah, we're hosting Jazz on George, and it's taking place at 101 North George Street downtown. The Arts Council and the DGDC are partnering for this event. It's going to be from 1 to 7 p.m. on October 27th, and it'll feature jazz music, kids activities, food and beverages, and then we'll have some art vendors on hand.
Oh, wow. Well, tell me about who's going to be playing. And what I know it's jazz music, but tell me who will be playing.
We've got the Monitors, and they are a band that's been together for about 50 years. They are loved by so many along the East Coast and even in the United States. We've got Nicholas Cole, who is a young musician. He's from Goldsboro.
Really?
Yes, which makes it all that more special.
Yeah,
that,
that's
you know,
nice.
He's from here, and he's going to be playing. And then we also have Marcus Anderson, who is from South Carolina, and he is also amazing.
Do they play various instruments, I would assume?
Yeah, they're so talented. I know Marcus Anderson, he plays the saxophone, he plays the flute. I mean, he is multi-talented. So they're all amazing to see.
Well, is there a cost for this event?
No, it's absolutely free.
Really? Now, how about the hours?
From 1 to 7 p.m. is when the event will take place. We have kids activities from 2 to 4 p.m. So they can bring the kids down and, you know, make some goodies and, you know, experience all that we have to offer.
And I'm assuming it's on George Street.
Yes.
Okay. On George Street from 1 to 7, and the date is?
October 27th.
October 27th. Well, what type of atmosphere is going to be at this event?
We're really hoping to make it like a, you know, kick off to the autumn season. It's really pretty. There are lights strung up in the trees, and we'll have a vendor on hand who will be selling like pumpkins and mums. And
oh, nice.
So bring your lawn chairs and your picnic blankets and enjoy the cool weather. It's going to be, you know, that autumn vibe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, do we have other downtown events that are going to be happening before Jazz on George?
We do. The Arts Council has a lot planned, and I'll let Letitia talk
tell
about
us
it.
about that.
Yes, we are definitely excited. The first event that we'll have will start on October the 22nd, and it is The Way I Play It, Sing It, and Hear It. And Sarah Merritt, who's the Executive Director over the Arts Council of Wayne County, will be interviewing 3 of the musicians from the African American Music Heritage Trail. After their interviews, they will also be playing together, so they'll be combining their talents.
Yeah.
So that's going to be again on October the 22nd, and it's from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the Arts Council
That's what I was going to
of
ask.
Wayne County.
Is there a fee for that?
It is free and open to the public, and I just want to also reiterate, a lot of people were not aware. I've heard that we are now downtown, so we are at 102 North John Street.
We are glad to have you
just
downtown.
to reiterate, yes, we've moved, so you don't miss the wonderful event.
Right, and it's
That's
such a
exactly
nice
our-
facility you all have too, by the
It
way.
is beautiful.
It is.
It is beautiful. Also, in addition to that, over at the Flying Shamrock, which is at 115 North John Street, they're going to be having their midweek blues and jazz and jam sessions. So that's open to the public. It's from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And that's going to call all musician and music lovers, and they're just going to gather out and jam and just have a wonderful time.
And that's at the Flying Shamrock.
It is, and that is also free and open to the public.
That's nice to know.
It is. And then the most anticipated event of the fall season is going to be on October the 25th, and that will be the Arts Council of Wayne County's grand reopening because we've gone through renovations.
Absolutely.
And the gallery is wonderful. It's beautiful, and Mayor Al King is going to come down and cut the ribbon. That is free and open to the public.
And that's when?
It's going to be on October the 25th.
Okay.
So, and that's going to be in the main gallery. That is sponsored by the Dillard Goldsboro Alumni and Friends Incorporated.
And what time is that event?
6 to 9 p.m.
6 to 9 p.m.
It is.
Okay.
It is free again and open to the public, but we will also have an exhibit, the African American Music Heritage Trail project. And I'd like to say that's a very interesting project, and I guess I probably like it more because I kind of was involved with it, and that was something that was really wonderful, and certainly a project that I learned quite a bit about, and the history of Wayne County.
And I'm sure we would too if we attend the event. If the
Definitely.
the exhibits are up.
Yes. In addition to that, we're going to have live musicians. Mr. Willie Dupree and Travis Woodard will be playing
during the
ceremony. Yes. And we're also going to have a couple other exhibits. It's How Can I Keep From Singing by Mr. Spencer Lawrence, and The Stars and the Sea Ticks by Todd Brantley, who's a photographer. So I certainly invite everyone to come. It's going to be a wonderful event.
It sounds like it. So you have quite a few things that will be going on the month of October.
Yes.
And so there's many opportunities for you downtown Goldsboro to participate in anything you want. And all these revolve around jazz.
Yes,
most of
ma'am.
these events do.
Yeah.
Well, how can people learn more about any of these events?
They can visit the DGDC's website at www.dgdc.org, or find us on Facebook under Downtown Goldsboro, or they can go to the Arts Council of Wayne County's website, which is
www.artsinwayne.org, and you can find us on Facebook, and we need a lot of likes, so make sure you go up and like us.
So I think everybody has a Facebook page from DGDC, Arts Council of Wayne County, and of course the City of Goldsboro. We all have websites, we all have Facebook pages, so there's many opportunities to be able to find out any information on all these events, the time, the place, if there's a cost incurred, if there's free beverages, food, that type thing, and entertainment. So many things to do the month of October, it sounds like to me, all downtown Goldsboro.
Yes.
So new location, new grand opening happening, and what was that date one more time?
October the 25th from
At
6 to 9 p.m.
6 to 9 p.m. Mark your calendars. Well, ladies, thank you so much. You've given us lots of information about what we can do in our own city, downtown Goldsboro, for the month of October. So thank you so much, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Back on WGTV today. Thank you for being with us Tuesday morning, October 9th.
What have you got on your calendar this morning?
Well, on my calendar today, of course, we have the big thing out at the hospital tonight, the Celebrating the Art of Survival for Cancer Survivors. Also on October 16th, oh man, Friends of the Willowdale Cemetery will have a meeting beginning at 5 p.m. Now, the Friends of the Willowdale is an organization. It's in fact a new organization, but the meeting will start at 5 p.m. at the Wayne County Museum. and that's at 116 North William Street in Goldsboro. The topic they'll be talking about will be preserving Goldsboro's oldest cemetery, and the Friends of Willowdale is a new group dedicated to preserving the cemetery for future generations. Now, the meeting is free, open to the public. Anyone and everyone's invited to attend. If you want information about that, you can go to call the Wayne County Museum at 734-5023, 734-5023.
I thought it was pretty interesting when Meg from DGDC was here the other day. She was telling us that the museum actually can be used as a venue to hold meetings, to hold events.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty interesting. I hadn't really thought about that before.
It's an old building, and they have a second floor that is a large room, has a stage, and they can set up tables and chairs, and you can have dinner.
It's a very interesting venue to have an event.
It is. It's a beautiful old building, it was built by the Women's Club some years ago, and then became the USO, and then it's been a couple of other things. But it is our Wayne County Museum. We should be very proud of it because it's really nice.
And we just had a big Blackbeard special edition not long ago, last weekend, I guess it was.
Yeah, and there were some people from C-SPAN that came and videoed that meeting and presentation. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, maybe we can get that on the show.
Oh, you know, that's an idea. That's a good, that would be nice. Let's see if we can do that.
And you know, the Arts Council, we had LETISHA and we had Meg on today talking about a lot of the events that are happening on at the Arts Council, downtown Goldsboro, their new location. And they're having an open house coming up soon. They're going to give us the information about that and some more details later. But you know, one of the things that they're having is the first Friday in every month, which was last Friday. But they'll be having it every single month, the first Friday. They have a big event where a lot of the artists in our community come, and they'll talk with a lot of the people that come for the events. They'll show their artwork. They'll actually talk to you about taking lessons if you're interested. They'll give you some tips. They'll serve, have free beverages and free bits of information to give you, but they'll also have refreshments and things like that, and little art exhibits and things for the children to do. So it's just a fun event that'll be going on the first Friday in every month. And LETISHA and Meg will tell you more details about it.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Oh, well, let's talk to, we're going to hear from Kevin Johnson now.
Good,
Kevin with the Cooperative Extension Service always has something to talk about because agriculture is such a big part of our community. So let's go ahead now on WGTV today and hear from Kevin Johnson. Today we're talking with Ag Agent and Director of the Wayne County Cooperative Extension Service. Kevin Johnson's with us here this morning. How you doing?
Good morning. Good to see you, Wayne.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Man, what a great fair.
Awesome fair. Awesome fair. We've, besides a little bit of rain, we've got a pretty good turnout, and we've got a lot of great events going on.
There was a little rain, especially on the first Saturday, but toward the end of the fair, the latter part of the week, it really turned out to be nice.
Nice weather. Yes.
Very nice. And I think it was well attended as well in spite of the rain.
Yes, I mean, I think so. It's challenges. We always have to deal with Mother Nature, and we deal with whatever cards we're dealt.
Now, the Cooperative Extension Service works very closely with the Wayne Regional Agricultural Fair and the Wayne County Livestock Association.
Yes.
So do you coordinate with individuals? Do you coordinate with companies? With whom do you coordinate to set up and work with the fair?
Mostly individuals. We have directors for the different categories. We have a hort department. We have
that would be horticulture.
Horticulture department, field crops, clothing. There's the food department. Of course, then you have like contests, like the Senior Citizens Contest.
Yeah.
You have the Master Gardeners have a big display out there.
Oh yeah.
We're very involved. We have the tractor driving contest. And Joey, that's one of my favorite things is the tractor driving contest.
Is that right?
Yes, you have these youth, they're usually high school age, some are in middle school, and they have to drive this course. And of course it requires some skill. They have to back a trailer, and they have to go through some gates. And of course if they hit the post, they're discounted, but they keep up with the time, and they keep up with how many mistakes they make, and of course you have a winner. And it's really fun to watch the kids, and win, lose, it doesn't matter, to watch the kids out there making that effort. I really enjoy that.
And some of these kids are really good at this.
Some are really good. They're better than me, I can tell you. And I've had a lot of experience in the past.
Yeah.
But they're better than me.
Now the tractors used, are they their tractors, or are the tractors furnished?
The tractors are furnished. A lot of times ACOC tractor helps us, Musgrave helps us. So it's not their tractor, and it's usually a small tractor. And of course, every kid has a preference of what tractor they like.
Oh, sure.
And they don't get that choice. You know, whatever is out there is what they have to drive.
It's what they have to drive, and some of them are totally unfamiliar with these tractors.
Exactly.
It's like driving going from one car to another, and you don't know where all the buttons are.
Exactly, exactly. And farm equipment is getting more complex. A lot of it is hydrostatic, so it doesn't. It has gears, but they can just use one lever to go forward and backward in a lot of the equipment now.
Right.
And of course, the tractor we will use out there will have gears, so some of them it'll be a little bit of a challenge.
And I want to talk to you later on in another program about farm equipment and how it's progressed over the last just few years.
Just a few years.
Just amazing what's going on with farm equipment.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're at the Wayne Regional Agricultural Fair, and it was a successful fair, and the food was great.
The food was always great.
And the rides were always fun and fair and great. They were great fair rides. The Midway was fantastic. Powers does an amazing job out there.
Great.
But the contests, the exhibits, the livestock exhibits, man, everybody loves that.
They do.
The cattle, the horses, the rabbits, the goats.
And of course, the first few days of the fair, there's a lot of livestock shows going on.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kids. There was probably close to 200 kids participating in the live shows.
Really?
And so you have a hog show, you have a goat show, and a lamb show.
Okay.
Goat show had close to 70 kids this year. So
Really?
yeah, so it's amazing the youth participation, and of course, people want to come and watch those contests or those shows.
Yeah.
And this is the excitement you see around the fair. You mentioned the food; it's really great, but sometimes the food and the rides don't always get along. I've experienced that before.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you know, you get a candy apple and some cotton candy, and then go get on the zipper, and it doesn't always work out real well.
It doesn't. They don't mix.
No, they don't.
Okay. We're going to leave that subject and go on to something else.
It's just words for the wise. Yeah.
Don't try this at home.
Exactly.
Right. Don't set up a fair ride out in the backyard and then go inside and eat a bunch of sugar sweetened items. All right. Well, let me ask you this now. Younger people now seem to be playing a very important part in the fair contests. There's a lot of them who enter now. You mentioned about 70 in one contest. I wanted to ask you: Are younger people who are not necessarily raised on a farm, are they involved with raising goats, and do they, if they don't live on the farm, are they still active in goat raising and in raising hogs and horses?
Yes.
To some degree?
To some degree. You can have a goat on a small backyard area, if, you know, as long as you are allowed to do that. Lambs, you can do that. You know, when you're dealing with like a market hog, you don't have to necessarily grow up on a farm, but you're going to have that animal somewhere on a farm.
Right.
And but yes, there are youth that are involved in livestock shows that do not grow up on a farm. And so if there's anyone interested in that, you know, you can contact our office, and we'd love to get you involved.
Well, see, that's what I'm thinking there. I'm thinking there may be some younger people out there whose maybe their grandparents have a farm, or they have an uncle or a family member or an aunt.
Or a neighbor.
A neighbor, in fact. Doesn't have to be a family member. Anybody that has a farm or an area in which they could raise lamb or goats or rabbits or chickens.
Yeah.
And they don't have to actually live or grow up on a farm.
No,
they can still be involved.
They can still be involved, and just like you mentioned, the rabbits. There's a lot of chickens out there. There's not necessarily a show, but you can bring them out to the fair, and they're judged.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, the youth can be involved in livestock.
Yeah. All right.
So and of course, we want to remember. There's so many other activities out there. You know, you've got the cheerleading contest, and of course every year that is a huge draw.
Big time.
You have the Queen of the Fair.
Yes.
And I mean, there's just so many activities. Of course, this year we're seeing You know, Milton retired this year after many, many years of great service, and there was a huge turnout. There was a reception for him. There was a huge turnout for that. We were excited. We were excited about the reception, not excited to see Milton go, but there's great things in the future. We've got Eddie Pitcher taking over that role.
I can't think of anyone else who would do, well, there are several people who would do a great job, but Eddie seems to fit the mold. It's just perfect.
He has the passion
He
for
does.
it. He
have
cares
the
about the fair. He cares about the community, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. You know, we've talked about a lot of things. We've been all over the place this morning, so we're going to do some more programs. If you don't mind, we're going to do some more programs. So we'll be talking again with Kevin Johnson later on in the week and next week. So stick with us. Does that sound all right?
That sounds great.
That sounds good. All right, Kevin Johnson, the Ag Agent for the Wayne Cooperative Extension Service here in Wayne County. For WGTV, I'm Wayne Alley. And we're back on WGTV today. Thank you for being with us this Tuesday, October 9th.
It is.
And coming up here in the Goldsboro, Wayne County area on the 18th is the Mayor's Committee for Persons with Disabilities Annual Awards Banquet. This is the banquet. This will be held at Herman Park Center. The cost is $12 each, and you can call Jeff Whitner or Whitner rather, or Letary Ward. Letary's number is 580-4359, 580-4359.
And she is the Community Affairs Director with the City of Goldsboro.
City of Goldsboro, that's right.
Yeah.
And
you know, the Chamber of Commerce is offering quite a few workshops, and they do throughout the year, Wayne. And one of those topics that Laura from the Chamber just told me, I guess it was yesterday, that they're offering social media workshops as well as 2012 tax return and workers' compensation workshops.
Oh boy.
They're all coming up. She's going to send me some information where I have details and if there's prices and things like that. But she was telling me that they are holding these workshops, several throughout the year, and they're open to everybody in the community. So I will keep you updated on which ones they're offering, but you can also go to their website and find out some more details.
Okay. Okay, there you go. Well, that's good information there. In a few days, in fact, this week, pardon me, October 13th, be a big fly-in at the Goldsboro Wayne Jetport, the big fly-in at the Goldsboro Executive Jetport, rather. October 13th, starting at 9 a.m., going until 4:30 in the afternoon. And if you have any, and they're looking for volunteers as well, people to help on the, well, just volunteers doing a lot of different things. Anyway, it's going to be a tremendous amount of fun. If you're at all interested in flying, in maneuvers, navigation, anything like that, that starts at 9 o'clock at the Wayne Executive Jetport, October 13th. See you out there.
That's right.
All right.
So who's coming up next?
Well, let's see. I believe that's it. That's it. We're out of time.
Oh, I thought we had one more. My goodness.
No, that was, we did Kevin there just a little while ago, and gee, that's about it for today. We're almost out of time. A couple of more things very quickly.
We are.
Don't forget the Planting Spring Bulbs Workshop coming up October 25th at the Cooperative Extension Center on corner of Chestnut and George Street. That's coming up. If you want to have a beautiful spring, watching the flowers grow, the bulbs grow. I love that. Irises and daylilies and anything with bulbs. Daffodils, hyacinths, crocus, anything like that. Tulips, don't forget tulips. The workshop is free to everyone. You do need to register, however, no later than October 23rd, which is 2 days prior. But you can call the Cooperative Extension Service at 731-1525, 731-1525.
And that's for beginners and experienced.
It's for anybody who has any kind of interest. If you don't know whether you even like to garden or not, you don't know. Well, just go anyway. It's free. You'll have a good time. You may decide, well, this is not for me. But I bet you don't. I bet you like it.
Well, Jessica's a good one to teach the class. She's extremely knowledgeable.
She is that. And the end of this week, we will have our first Jessica Strickland program. It'll be we're going to talk about gardening and that sort of thing with Jessica Strickland from the Cooperative Extension Service every other Friday. All right?
That sounds
all
good.
Right. Sounds good. All right. Well, that's it, Kim.
It is. That's all we've got for today. And look at our websites if you want to find additional information at waynegov.com.
Right.
And goldsboronc.gov.
Right.
They're both the website for the city and the county. We have all kinds of information there for you. Streetscape information is there if you want to get updates on what's happening. We both have Facebook pages, and you can follow us on Twitter. So we've got lots of options for you to stay tuned and understand what's going on in your community.
Oh, boy. So join us again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Bess. We'll see you tomorrow.